Alright, so we are back to square one. Again, how do we create character sets? This is what you need to do. First step is to select all the controls by doing this. Are you sure that you have all the controls? Well, you can check it by going to Windows, Graph, Animation Editors, Graph Editor, and you'll see that it will select all the controls. I can see that I actually have a character set here already created from before. So I'm gonna go to character set editor down here, and if you did this wrong, you can always select that, go to edit, delete highlighted character set, and there won't be none here in the file anymore. Alright, so let's go back to here. So I'm gonna select all my controls like that. So I have all three controls. You can also, if you wonder like, that's hard to select, you can always use this actually. So I'm going to go to this panel, go to panels, tear off copy. So I have a copy here which I can use as some sort of selection window. So if you feel like you need the top one, you can just select that, you get the upper control. Select that one, you get lower control. Select that one, you get main control. And you select all three to get all three controls. Alright, sweet. Now, with all three controls selected, I'm gonna do that again. We have to make sure we are in animation mode. Go to key, create character set. Go to the options box, give it a name. Can be any name, squash and stretch ball, whatever. And make sure all keyable is checked. I'm gonna hit apply. So I can see that there's this cartoon now. That means the character set has been created. I'm going to click close. Alright, cool. So now, to check whether your character set is working, this is how you do it. In any frame, so I'm going to kind of minimize this. Say I'm going to go to frame 1. I press S. What happens is it should create a key for everyone. If I select this control, I'm able to see that it is, sorry, okay, let me just reiterate. Let's go to the graph editor. If I select the upper control, press A here, select all the keys, I can see there's a box next to it, means that there's a key for the upper control. If I select the main control, press A here, select all, I can see there's a key for everyone. If I select the lower control, press A here, select all the keys here, I can see there's a box. That means there's a key for everyone. Okay, cool. Another thing to note, whenever you create a character set, if you select the controls, you'll notice that each control now turns yellow. What that means basically is all of these controls and all of these attributes now belong to the character set. Okay, so again, with our checking thing, if I go to a different frame now, frame 12 for instance, and I say I select this guy, I move it here, I move it up, and then if I don't select it, I can see that, okay, I can still see my keys, so that's a good thing about character sets. And I can see that it actually creates a animation like that. If I go to frame, I don't know, frame 7 and press S, and I'll say use squash, and you do all sorts of things with the rig, like you push here, you go here, and probably I want to mess around with that as well. So do that. So if you go back to here, it still has the same drawing. If you go to here, you have that drawing. If you go to here, you have that drawing. So you can be sure that your character set is properly created. Okay, let's talk about the second way of checking whether the character set is correct or not. You can go down here, go to the character set editor, and you'll see that down here you should have a list of all your controls. So I can see there's upper control, and it has all the attributes that's associated with it, the translates, the rotates, the visibility. I can see there's lower control, has rotates, translates, visibility. I can see that's main control, rotates, translates, visibility, and smooth. well, you might not want to animate this, but you know, it's good to have it there. And if you have all this, that means your character set is correct. And whenever your character set is not correct, and I'll show you an incorrect one. So let me just select that, and you know you can delete it. Go to edit, delete it. So there's no character set. If I minimize that, it says no character set. If I try to find it, it's not there yet. It's not there anymore. So, and if I select controls here, I can see that it's now red. If I select that control, it's red. So I select that, it's red as well. It means that all these controls do not belong to any character set anymore. Okay, so if you did it wrongly, say you just did this, select the main control, and you think you selected all the controls, and if you go do the same thing, go to key, create character set, go to the options, blah blah blah, click apply, close, you see that there is a character set, but it might not work the way you think it should. Okay, so let me just demonstrate it. I'm gonna properly select everyone, go here, delete. Okay, let me just do the same thing again. So I will say let me just, because there's a key here somewhere, so okay, no wonder. Okay, right. Okay, so I have my character set that I created earlier. Say I press S, so I think it's creating a key there, and I'm gonna go to a different frame, and I press S, thinking that it's going to create a key for everyone. So I go here, right? Cool. And then I go to this frame, I press S, and then I'll do all sorts of things like rotate and stretch and squash. If I go back to here, I see that, oh, why is it squashing? Can I mean, I didn't squash it in the first place. Why is it squashing? If I go to here, it's squashing here as well. I didn't squash it here. What happened? If I go to here, oh, it's squashing. Now what happened was, you actually created a character set that was wrong. If you go to character set editor, right, let's open this up and look at the character set. You only have the main control with all its attributes in the character set. So what happened was, if you go to a new frame and you press S, and I'll show it to you here in the graph editor, right? So if I press S, I think everyone has a key. If I select this guy, press A, there's no key for this guy. If I select the lower control, let me just find it. Okay, if I select the lower control and press A in the graph editor, there's no key for him as well. But if I select the main control, press A, what happened was it only created keys for the main control. And that's why if I were to do all sorts of things, for instance, this time round I say I do that, it will create a key, but it will also affect the previous drawings. See? Because, and I can't really see it because it's not here. I wonder where. So safe to say that's not how you create character set. So it's really a good idea to check, to open up the character set editor and make sure all of the controls are in here before you start animating. So I'm gonna delete this highlighted character set. It can get confusing. I hope it doesn't. But I do really advise you to explore character sets and see how it can help with your animation. So let's just zero out everything first, or rather delete all this. And I'm going to zero out everything. Alright, and therefore I do advise you to do it the proper way. Select all of the controls, If you're not sure whether you're selecting all the controls, go to animation editor, make sure this is all highlighted in the graph editor, or you can very carefully select one, select another one, and only then go to key, create character set, give it a name, click apply. This should be the proper character set. Test it out first, press S, and then go to a different frame, press S, squash it, go back to the previous frame, it's still there, and then go to the next frame, press S, and then go up, and then try to tweak the drawing, go back to the previous one, it's still there, so that means it's you created the character set properly. So go to a new frame, push it up, I'll say 0 here, and then let's go back down. We have this drawing, still have that drawing, So the idea is whenever we're animating, we want to make sure that all the drawings stay in the same place. Only then we can be sure that it will animate properly, and it will totally save a lot of time when you're fixing the graph editor, right? Okay, so let's just end that video there.